Greetings, YouTube. LMS Tactical here. I hope everybody's doing well. Most of you know that I am sponsoring a family of 4 from South Africa. And so today, they've got 2 kids, and today they have a meeting with the school counselor. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for them to get done with that meeting. And yeah, it's hard to believe it's been about 6 months since they've been here. And man, I'll tell you what, the one thing I've learned is it's a lot easier to come into this country illegally than it is to do it the right way. They do not make it simple. There is not a list of things that you follow, 1 through 20, that you have to do in order to get your asylum case heard and to get a driver's license and a work permit. If they were illegal, if they had swam across the river from Mexico, they'd already have a driver's license and a job and everything else. But they're trying to do things the right way, and man, it's a cluster fuck times 1,000. But as everybody knows, the impeachment hearings are underway here in America. There's not much that I can say about that you haven't heard me say before. My stomach is in knots, because I have it on the radio here and I was watching it on TV. It's like stabbing yourself in the eye. Not because I'm worried that the impeachment is going to be successful, but when you listen to these career politicians brag about how long they've been in office, talking about shift and like the former ambassador to Ukraine, there has got to be term limits. These people are fucking worthless, man. I don't even know why they raise their hands when they swear in. They swear an oath, and 99.9% of liberals are godless people. They don't believe in God. They have no honor, no integrity, no class. I got to believe that a lot of these people are bought and paid for by a number of people. I'm sure China's got a hand in it. The Chinese have every motivation in the world to pay these people off. I'm sure George Soros has a big hand in it. And, the deep state has a hand in it too. And a lot of these motherfuckers are part of the deep state, So this is even though I'm confident that Trump's not going anywhere, it's very serious because, we waited to the 11th hour to try to get this country back on track by way of Trump coming into the picture, which I think was an act of God. Thank God for him. I hope you're praying for him every day like my family is. But, it is a little depressing when you realize just how many people have been indoctrinated into this anti-American communist bullshit. You guys in South Africa have already suffered it. Europe is collapsing because of it. And the last beacon of hope on the hill is now succumbing or in troubled waters because of the amount of ignorant people that do absolutely no research for themselves. They just repeat what their little slave masters on the left tell them to repeat. Saul Alinsky, he wrote the book Rules for Radicals, and that was one of Hillary Clinton's textbooks. And one of his things was, I'm paraphrasing, but it was to always accuse your enemy of exactly what you're doing, or your opponent, and that'll add to confusion. And of course we see this, what does the left do? They call us racist when they're the racist. They call us fascists when they are clearly the fascists. And you got these people, it's like they've given up on us, the baby boomer generation, which I understand, because we're not going to have our minds changed. And they've focused on the education. Look what's going on in South Africa there, where they're trying to implement this, 4th grade sex education, where they're teaching kids how to masturbate and how to have sex and blah, blah, blah. Because that is typical communism, man. The state will raise your children, not you. You have no say-so in it. And I know I'm covering a lot of area here because I don't know when my video is going to run out. I've used a lot of memory. If I disappear, that's what happened, and I'll just post it anyways. But I always say anyways, and it's actually anyway, but I've been making that mistake my whole life. Speaking of ignorance, the more I see and listen to these highly educated academics in my country, the happier I am I didn't even finish high school. You know, you look at places like Harvard and all these different universities, man, these are some of the most ignorant motherfuckers on the planet. You know, they just swallow what their fucking hippie professors shove down their throats. They do no research. And it's a good recipe, you know. I mean, the left, I have to hand it to them. They are smart by focusing on the young. You know, it only takes a generation or two to eradicate those of us who understand the price of freedom. You know, now you got these colleges here in the United States that they think free speech is that's an old thing. They want to get rid of that, like they have in South Africa. You say the wrong word, you go to prison. So the liberals are always all for free speech as long as you agree with every fucking thing they say. You know, classic shit, man. I'm very happy that I'm not a young guy, or that I don't have little kids. You know, if my health holds out, I'll be able to either live through the resurrection and salvation of America and the American dream, or I'll live to witness its absolute destruction. And my wife and I, we already have plans for that shit. If for some reason the liberals take over this country and it goes sideways, we are going to become complete selfish motherfuckers that just live to make ourselves happy. We're not going to follow politics or do anything else. I know that sounds like a defeatist thing, but look, I'm not going to spend the last years of my life shoveling shit against the tide. If the young people want communism or socialism, which is the same thing in this country, by the time they realize how fucking stupid they are and how much they were used, they'll have to suffer. It'll be way too late, because by then all the history books of what America was really about will have all been burned. It's just like all the communists and Nazis always do. They change history, tear down statues. And they'll have to live with it. And God help them. You know, I mean, I've got 7 children myself that are grown. And they're the ones I worry about, you know, because it's not, you know, once you lose certain rights, you never get them back. You lose the Second Amendment, that's it, man. It ain't ever coming back. Ask the people in Australia and every other country that turned communist. And what happens? All you got to do is look at Hong Kong. All you got to do is look at Tiananmen Square. That's what happens when a society is disarmed. And then you live and breathe at the will of the fucking very rich and very powerful leaders. Because there is no middle class. It's them and us. And God help these stupid motherfuckers that don't see it. Anyways, there I go again. Let me try something new. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope this meeting don't take too long because I'm not feeling real well. And I got to take my dog to the vet. Nothing serious. He just needs to get a checkup. But, yeah. All right, you guys, I won't just ramble on. I'm going to go ahead and watch this. Hopefully you guys, if you can stomach it, are watching it. And, you know, just looking at Adam Schiff's face makes me want to projectile vomit all over the fucking screen. It's very hard for me to deal with it. But, hey, history will not forget these motherfuckers. You know, if the righteous prevail, history's going to hold these motherfuckers accountable. And all you Americans, you better remember, man, that these people are not just trying to impeach Trump. They're trying to fucking squash the vote that we cast. They're trying to squash and undo the election that we won. You know, Trump works for us. We put him in office, and they're trying to take him out of office because they know they can't win an election. So they've never gotten over their loss. How could they have rigged the election as strongly as they did and still lost? Because they underestimated us. Well, now they know what they're dealing with. Excuse me. And you know, it's going to be fucking interesting. But never forget, man, that these people, every assault against Donald Trump is an assault against every right-minded, free-thinking American, and every free person all over the world who respects the rule of law and integrity and honor. I'll leave you with that. Elements Tactical. Stay safe. I'm out.